So we'll pull a Brad from Trail Recon. We'll have a coffee one take here. Oh man, I've done way too much talking and way too much doing today before I've had coffee. Man. So out in LBL and out in kind of this winter wonderland, if you want to call it that, kind of melted off real fast. That sucks. There's still a lot on the ground, but pretty much anywhere where the sun's been hitting the last 2 days, it's melted. We've had a couple things go on this weekend. One, the weather happened. Do you ever have things where it's like things keep happening and they're kind of bad things and you're like, maybe I shouldn't go, maybe there's something telling me I shouldn't go? Me personally, in my beliefs, I believe that the Lord will speak to us sometime. Our Heavenly Father will speak to us and tell us not to do things. And sometimes that may be His way of doing that. And sometimes I think it might be the enemy that's doing that, keeping us from going and doing something we enjoy. So Friday, we took off work because it was going to be it was just messy and we weren't going to be able to do anything. So thought, okay, let's have a long weekend. We'll get out and do some exploring, have some fun in the snow. And kept dragging around, but I also knew Liv, my youngest, she was going to want to play in the snow, so I made sure I stayed home for that. Got out a little late, went and picked up a fridge slide. I bought a OVS tilting fridge slide. I'm going to have it installed. Got some cool things coming to the back of the Gladiator. That was kind of the main thing I was going to talk about. But going back to the question I was asking, how do you push through when those things come up? So it's like that happened, and then I met that guy. He wanted them. We talked. It kind of was one of them things, and it's like everything kept delaying me getting to where I was trying to get to. Does that frustrate you, or are you able to settle into that and just be like, hey, let's not rush. We'll get there when we get there. Some people I know, they're like on a schedule, and they're like, if anything messes that schedule up, it just kind of ruins their trip or their time. And there's probably been times in my life where I was like that, but I've tried not to. I've tried to get away from that for sure. So just encourage you, if you're a Christian like I am, and if you have faith like I do, listen to Him speaking to you on some things. Sometimes it is delayed for a reason, and sometimes I think it's just the enemy trying to keep you and trying to get you discouraged or kind of get you from doing what you want to do. So that's one thing. On to the truck. Man, that's good. On to the truck. So, like I said, I found a guy on Facebook. He had a Rubicon. It got totaled. So he pretty much disassembled it, took all the parts out of it he could. So he had a tilting, OVS tilting fridge slide. And I've been trying to figure out how I was going to work the back of the truck. And I finally, when that's what I knew I was probably going to need. But man, they're just stupid expensive. And it's one of those things that's like, you're buying wheels and tires and spending some money. It's like, oh yeah, that's cool. Or you buy a new fridge, or you buy a bumper, or the cool stuff. A fridge slide's definitely not the cool stuff. And spending $400, $500 on a fridge slide was just like, So I found this one on the site now. It's like, I think it's on sale right now for like $280, $290, but I think he paid $450 for it when he got it. But it's pretty much looks brand new. He didn't use it very much. So I went and bought it, got it for $120. So now that I've got that, the build plan for the back of the Gladiator is this. There's two different ways I'm going to do this, depending on another situation that might happen. I'm not going to talk about yet. So I'm going to build a deck system in here, similar to buying the actual brand deck. Only difference will be, of course, I'm going to build it out of real life birch plywood. A buddy of mine, Steve, he's got a cabinet shop. I mean, he builds $100,000 kitchens, and he's got every kind of piece. He can do commercial stuff, residential, and plus, my family used to own a commercial. Actually, my dad's owned 3 cabinet shops over the years, so we've built cabinets our whole lives. So, gonna do something similar to what you would see like Goose Gear build or something like that, but it's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be a hexagon laminated top and faces. I think on the left side, the drawer is going to pull out, will be a full length, 56 inch. I'm not going to do full 60 inches. It's going to be 56 inches slide that will be my kitchen. So I think the plan is to put a 2-eye burner in it, a sink, and another single eye that will hold my oven that I cook on. So it will roll out, I hope, to about right here, and I'll be able to do most of my stuff right here. Now, I'm going to keep my fridge on the right side, and it will be on the slide on the top. So this, I'm thinking, I'm probably going to go 12 inches deep, 12, 14 inches, depending on how it lays out. Steve's going to help design it in his software, and then we'll run it on a CNC machine. So, and then, so it's going to all be square in here, and then on the sides, well, everything's going to be form fitting, and on the sides, I'm going to have just doors that pop up where I can stuff like lights and fans, stuff like that. On this side, I'm probably going to go, so I got 5 foot, so I got 60 inches. Oh man, the coffee's delicious. Top this sucker off. So on the passenger side or right side of the bed will be 2 things. The fridge will be mounted on top, so it will slide out on its own slide and tilt down. Under that will be a full pull-out drawer there that's going to be probably going to go 48 inches. And the reason we're going to go 48 inches because behind that is where we're going to mount our battery boxes. All of my stuff is kind of in a makeshift box right now up there. I've got a electrical panel that's going in. Everything will go in that panel. And the batteries will be down below that. So that's kind of where we're going. The only thing that might change in this, and that's going to be just a solid top. There's not going to be any gaps or anything. The only thing that may change about that is if the next thing that, something that may be coming sooner or later, something I'm working on, I'm not going to talk about yet, could change how I configure this because it'll be a completely different style of camping. So I may do more of a full height box over here that the drawer still slides out, that's got the kitchen, but towards the back when it pulls out there's some storage and stuff there, and then do a smaller so there's more, so there's still maybe a 12 to 14 inch void here that's just left blank, that can be, stuff can lay in or whatever. So that's kind of a couple of options. I think I'm going to go with just the solid deck on top no matter what's coming, because it'll work either way. And I think having that solid surface up there, and that hexagon is kind of got a textured feel to it, so it's like non-slip. I love how it looks. I just don't know how it's going to function. I like the fact that it's non-slip, but sliding in and stuff out, I don't know. That it may turn into where I wind up having to put a slider up here that pulls everything out. So basically having 2 drawers and then a deck and then just a flat slide that comes out. Got a couple of things we're going to work on there. So, man, I needed that coffee. So that's going on. Also, another thing, I think for right now, we're going to change tents again. I got a friend of mine that I don't even know how he wound up with it. He doesn't use it as a rooftop tent. He uses it basically for his kids to play in out on a platform they built. So he's got a Rome, I can't remember what it is. It basically pops straight up. It's got 360 degree views. So I think I'm going to get that from him. I think I'm going to try that for a couple of months, see if I like it, until the next phase of things come in. My rock slide engineering steps have played out. I don't know what happened since my battery died the other day and I had to jump my truck off. One still will drop down, but it won't come back up. The other one is just loose. It's like it doesn't even have any kind of, excuse me. Like I can just as I ride down the trails, it's steadily falling. So, which has been a little bit hectic this weekend. So I gotta get those fixed. I'm gonna get the truck re-geared, hopefully before I do any of this running around this year that I'm talking about doing. So that's kind of where we're at on that. I'm probably gonna do this. Is probably gonna be a standalone video of just, like I said, just taking something from like Brad used to do on Trail Recon of his coffee one takes. Probably gonna throw this up. No editing involved, and of just my ramblings. So that's some things that we're doing. Man, get out and explore. Get out and go do something. Get off the couch. Even if you don't have a 4-wheel drive vehicle, yeah, you probably can't get to some places like this, but there's places you can go. I spent most of my childhood going on trips with my family. I've been to pretty much every state in the country, except I've never been up past New York. So the kind of that northeast, like all up through there. Like I'd like to go to Boston, Acadia National Park, like all up through there, Vermont, and all through there, Maine, all those states up there. That's pretty much the only states I haven't been to. And Alaska, I haven't been to Alaska. Been to Hawaii. So actually have been in Hawaii and stayed in the town of Lahaina that burnt down in 2024, that caught fire, and the whole big thing was in the media. That's actually the town I stayed in for a week. So been all over the out west multiple times. And man, those are just memories that I'll have forever. So if you're thinking about it and you got a family, and I know stuff's expensive, hopefully 2025 prices may come down. I don't know, or maybe incomes will go up. I don't know. Not gonna get into that, but figure out a way to go somewhere you haven't been, somewhere new. Just go on an adventure with your family, with some friends. If you're not married and you don't have kids, find somebody that's adventurous and go somewhere. Figure out what it is you enjoy doing and do it. I spent way too much time on my oldest daughter growing up, worrying about money and not going and doing stuff like my parents did with us. And now she's at college and I can't get that time back. Luckily, the last 3 years of her before she went to college, we actually traveled and done some stuff. And now that she's at college, she's kind of got that Like she likes going and doing stuff. So I'm hoping she'll go see some stuff, or at least come back and join us on some of our trips we take. And I'm sure she will. But you can't get that time back. So spend it wisely and go somewhere. Everybody goes to the beach. If you like going to the beach and that's where you're making your memories, by all means, go do it. But if you always go to the beach, or you always go to the mountains, or you always go here, if you don't ever go to the beach, go to the beach for a week. Just do something new. Make some new memories. And just see how that fares with you. You never know what it can do for your family. And I've went on trips before that I swear before, and about the same time we went on the next one, I was just getting the last one paid off. But you know what? And I don't care anymore. It's more important to me to go and see and do things than it is, saving every penny I make. You got to be smart. You got to save. You got to do all the things you got to do, but make sure you're setting a little bit aside for some adventure, because everybody has adventure in their heart and in their soul. Everybody does, and they're longing for it. So there's a kid in you deep down somewhere that's wanting adventure. When you was a kid and you was running through the woods playing war, or you was a little girl playing out in the woods, or playing as a princess, or whatever it is, that's still in you. So now I feel like I'm preaching at you, but that's still there. So it didn't go away. We've just, life and everything just kind of pushed it all down. So, don't be scared to let that side of you come out and go on an adventure. I promise you'll enjoy it.